Hi, it's me again with Corel Draw Tips and Tricks. Somebody sent me this clip art, and it's pretty clean. It's going to trace pretty good, I think. But they want these toes separated because they're going to put a boundary and cut this out on a laser. So for the one I'm doing it for, it's pretty big. So I'm going to take my tool right here and just move it up, make it smaller. I'm going to go to Trace, Outline Trace, Clip Art, and I'm going to take away, see that white right there? I'm going to take away color from entire image. And there we have a fine, pretty sharp clip art. Uh, don't really know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to left click, right click. And you see these toes are connected. And I don't really see the problem, but I understand they want to get up in here and cut it all be one piece. So we're going to take our shape tool. Whenever your shape tool can't do anything, it's because it's a group together. So let's go to object group and ungroup. And then we can grab our shape tool. So we probably need to make the toes. I'm going to take a 3-point line. I'm just going to kind of change the toe up a little bit and make it like that. Then this, I'm going to right click, break apart, right click, break apart. And I'm going to take my virtual segment delete key and get rid of that line and that line. Now I'm going to take the shape tool and I'm going to grab this node and kind of move them out of the way. I don't know how big, and you're going to start messing things up cosmetically, like right there. We can fix all that. Matter of fact, we could probably delete that node and we get almost another toe. It's not going to be even or symmetrical, but I'm going to go from right there to right there. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, not do that. I'm going to take this line, move it back a little bit more. And then I can take this line and make it look more like a toe. I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. And then I'm going to smart fill that. Forgot how big I made it. Make my nudge factor about 10. And I'm going to fill in this lower part. By doing that, now I can play with those toes because I know the lines are more all together. And that doesn't look too terribly bad. But now they are separated. We could play around with them a little bit more, make them a little bit more looking like the other toes. And you could always like grab those 4 nodes and kind of move the whole thing over. That doesn't look too bad. Maybe move this totally over. And it's just personal preference. I'm going to take the smoothing tool. Wow. Set on 1 inch. And I'm going to smooth that out. See, kind of give it more of that way the other toes look. Now what I can do is take this part of it and delete it. And there's that line which we needed to delete anyway. Okay, then their next question was, they want to cut this out. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to weld it together so it'll be kind of like a group or one piece. And I'm going to try just contouring. I'm going to go to effects and contour. I'm going to contour the outside, maybe like 0.25. You know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to turn this into red lines so we can see our contour in black. So that's actually, if they want to cut that out, that's actually too much. Let's go 0.15. See, it's still not going to get up into that toe. But if you're lasering this, I would allow the laser to cut those little slots out. Now we could try it one more time at like 0.1. So you're not going to get that cut line to go up in there unless we move these toes apart a little bit more. I think it would look funny. We could try one other thing. Let's contour like 0.05. See, now we're up in there, and that maybe that's going to work. Now it also contoured the inside of everything. So what I would do now is go to Object to break the contour part and grab our contour and nudge out of the way. And then go up to Object and break the curve apart and then grab. So I'm going to make this. Well, they're going to engrave that. So let's do this. Let's turn it off. And we can take away the outline. Now we can move this and turn it red and move it over. And now, so it worked. So that's going to cut out all the parts are going to be pieces. And just to kind of prove it, we could take this and fill it in with another color. And that's what it's going to look like. Now, in this drawing, there is some white. I didn't even think about that. Tell you what, let me get rid of all this. Let me try to grab the contour and move it over. Well, that'll work too. Let's just delete it. Let's try to grab the contour and move it over. And let's make this yellow and put it to the back of the group or order back a page. No, there's no white there. I wonder if there's white here. Nope. So there is no white. So that'll work. That'll engrave. That's going to be pretty cool. I like it. And, if this is too sharp, you could actually, good lesson right there. I'm trying to grab that red line and you can see we got it now. I don't know if this is necessary. First of all, I want to check, make sure that's a hairline. So you'd want to make sure that's a hairline. And I'm going to take my shape tool. I'm going beyond what they asked now. And I'm going to grab those two nodes and I'm going to go to Windows, Dockers, and Corners. And I'm going to go like 0.1. Too much. 0.05. That. Now, if you would prefer to have the cut line like that, which I think kind of looks better in a way, there are some other square parts, but now this is personal preference, and I'm not saying you should do it. Now, right here, we might have a problem because it looks like more than one node. So I'm going to delete that node, grab those two, and do the same contour. If that ever, there's another node right there. Oh, that's from my curve. That doesn't look like, that's a starting point. If you ever had that problem, do one at a time. Nope, too much. Let's go 0.02 on this one. See, that'll work. So you can always make that work. And the only other sharp, that's a sharp point, that's a sharp point. You could do the same thing everywhere. But like I said, I'm going well beyond what the person asked for. See, maybe even going less, like 0.02 on all of them would be better anyway. I think it would look better. I'm going to delete some extra nodes. I think if you can delete these nodes downhill from the other ones, I think it would be a better, stronger maybe even. There's some double nodes right there that could be. See, whenever you have a bump in your drawing, Corel, the contour makes the bump even worse. I wouldn't suggest taking them all away, but we could take away 2 of the nodes. So when you contour and you have something like that, just kind of look to see what's going on with your drawing. And like same thing here. I don't know if we can round that corner. Yeah. See, I think that's going to look better because this is kind of a curve. And then let's do it to the other side. Curve. So all the interior cuts now are curves. I think that looks a lot better. And you know that you could stave. That's going to be really well. It's going to be cut out, so that doesn't matter if that's a thin piece of wood because it's thick on both sides. Anyway, I hope that answered their question, and thank you for watching.